Why, hello everyone. Welcome back to PlayFrame, to Final Fantasy XVI, and to the Hideaway, but not for long. No, we're leaving. Because Martha's gone missing and we need to go check in with the Cursebreakers in Martha's Rest to ask about it. We've caught up on all of our lore reading. I've also done a whole lot of side quests.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
And I was about to say that probably means I'm done with side quests for a while, but...
Where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
5 or 10 more of those could pop up at any moment.
Oh, I think I twisted something.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Culling doesn't sound good.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Well, let's get moving then. I like how much foggier it is out here this time. Much moodier.
Look. Up ahead.
What? Oh, there you are.
Martha. Are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields.
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then... they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other Cursebreakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Well, let me just worry about the bees for a little bit. And then as soon as I'm done dealing with their nonsense, we'll see how many more problems I can solve. Then we'll pick up the pace. Okay. Run. Not now, spiders.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
Hello?
No.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offence.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive,
This won't take long.
Yeah, y'all really should have bugged out when you had the chance. Beg your pardon. No more blocking, thank you. Enjoy this, suckers. Ow. Good work, Torgal. Who's left? Nobody. That's who.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Doesn't quite feel like a victory, does it? Oh, hey, we got one of these for free. Really shouldn't go buying these, I suppose.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
I don't like his odds, but let's go looking.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the Abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Riddick's Jump. The currents there are swift. If the Abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
We're on the job. Let's see, we need to make for Riddick's Jump. Is the casting also in that same direction? Yeah, okay, both of them are. Cool. Off we go then. Later, spiders. Hey, there's a familiar face. Oh. Gotta fight you for a bounty, do we? Every now and then, Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items. Nice! Level 25.
What do I say?
A chunky one.
Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Doom. Oh my. Seems like that's gonna hurt. What I meant to do.
I failed.
I hit the wrong button. Neat. So like Doom kind of creates an AoE circle around you need to get out of before the thing goes off. That's cool. I'm trying that fight again. I quite like this. The Notorious Marks thing was, or like special hunts were a thing that Final Fantasy XII and a few others have kind of done that I quite like. Just optional challenging boss fights you can get out there and do. For special rewards that tend to be where some of the biggest, hardest fights are in the game. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Dodge out of that. There we go. Much better. Mess it up. Look out.
Nice try.
Mess the thing up. There we go. Staggered already. Keep messing it up. Hit it with so many elements. Look out. Get out of there. Ouch. What are you doing? Oh, it's Doom again. Ouchies. Get out of there, get out of there. Get out of there. Quake guy. Oh no. Ah! Now I'm getting juggled. Look out! Juggled and a little wrecked. Ouch. Did we beat you? What's going on? Hey! What happened there? Did we run out of time to win the fight, or did we just, like, leave the area? Ah, whatever. I'll beat you up again. There we go. Notorious Mark slain. Cool.
Didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge.
Slightly disruptive to the mood, I suppose, but fun fight.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Back we go, then. We're back. Oh, you're looking a little better.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumours started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse-breakers.
I'm sure one or two wouldn't mind sticking around to help.
What in the world?
What about you?
If you don't mind, Sid. I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
Oh, perfect. You've got a volunteer already.
Those poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain.
Now I see a side quest out there with a slightly different symbol, and it being a plus, going by what the MMO's conventions are, suggests to me this one is more important than most.
Oi! You there! Don't just pass me by!
Wasn't gonna.
You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos. Fighting bandits.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
Can do. BRB. Hey, birds. Close enough.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
Let's do some tracking then. Or I could just follow this marker.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
Clearly. Ah, there we go.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
You're the boss. No to maging. Where's the other one? There we go. Hey, let's use our Flames of Rebirth. Wow, that works. Good skill. Oh, there's a big one. Okay. And you're almost done, and then you're done. There we go. Okay. And if you weren't, then Jill was clearly about to finish it. Oh, hello again.
Now. Whiteheart, I presume. Do you know her, boy?
Clive, come on.
That scar. It couldn't be.
You can hear the little gears spinning.
Ambrosia.
There he goes.
It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! He isn't over! I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
I could use a ride.
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Well, don't you look nice in your new saddle? With a cool eye patch and everything.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
A few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now.
I give this town 3 weeks.
You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Oh, I see they also get nice saddles. Suppose we wouldn't want to play favorites. So we've got Ambrosia's Tack now, a bespoke saddle and blinders born by Clive's childhood chocobo Ambrosia. Ambrosia. Nice to have a quote. Chocobo unlocked. How does that work? After 18 long years, Clive has finally been reunited with his faithful steed. Hold R3 while in the field to summon Ambrosia and X to mount the chocobo. Cool. Okay. Let's give this a spin. There you are.
Come on.
And now we can gallop.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Oh, you're so much faster than me. This is an improvement. Delightful. Very nice. Okay. We need to get back to the hideaway. I think. Actually, I suppose I should double check real fast. Can I get back to the local map? Just make sure there aren't any smaller side quests. There's not. Surprising, honestly. Well, let's go back to the hideaway then.
Now, where's Gav?
Gav. Well, Jill.
Gav should be back by now.
Okay, Gav.
I hear there's trouble.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
Oh, come on.
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
I can be nice. Clive, be nice.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
Gav, come on.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Gav, I really appreciate you trying to shoulder the workload of charisma around here. Someone had to. Otto's counter is now open. There are new facilities. Alliance reports for finding more side quests. The Patron's Whisper for Not sure yet. And the hunt board. Let's investigate.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Seems like we'll be doing at least one side quest for a little bit. Let's see if there's anything to real quick do here.
Back, are ya? Not saying for you, do you?
Anything for improving? Not really, no? Okay.
And?
Let's go see about those new facilities then. Or we could also hop into our room real fast. See if there's much to do here. There's our wall of memories, which we got the saddle added to now. It's cool. A saddle and blinders created specifically for Clive's childhood chocobo Ambrosia. Even after being separated from her master, the noble steed served the people of Rosaria in his stead, protecting the defenseless from the merciless, just as a good shield would. Is a good bird, and so much faster than me. Reading table... Oh, another missive. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. I am gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart. You told me once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate, and here, so many years later, we find she spent her life doing that exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Jill. You know, we both live here. I appreciate the letter, but you could totally just come say hi. It's fine. Hey, see you right here.
Your uncle always seemed a kindly soul, if a little eccentric.
Thanks. Good seeing you too.
That broom's as ragged as...
Okay. So, what all have we got going over here? I see you've opened up shop.
Clive, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I'm the mightiest of all Moogles. No fiend of the forest or ghoul of the greenswood can measure up to Nectar the Bold, Kupo, too fast. So I need you to slay them all, Kupo.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me, Kupo. I'll stay here then and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board. So if there's anything you need to know, Kupo, I'm your Moogle.
Good to know. Tell me of the hunts.
Did you see that the Cursebreakers give every billet a rank of riskiness, Kupo? From this thing could kill you in a single swipe to a 7-nation army couldn't scratch this thing's skid? But I'm sure you'll be fine, Kupo. Well, not sure, but that's one risk I'm willing to take.
Tell me of your adventures, Nectar.
Did I ever tell you about the time I visited the Great Continent, Kupo?
I don't think so.
Of course I didn't, because I've never been, Kupo. Look at these wings. Do they look like the sort that might carry a Moogle across countless leagues of open sea? They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid, Kupo.
Fair point. Thank you, Nectar. Let's look at this board. Reports of fiends terrorizing the countryside are posted to the hunt board in hopes that fearless heroes, you will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. Good to know, and we already got one already. Huzzah! There's an Angel of Death by way of Caernarvon, and a Belphegor, big dragon, out in the East Pool area. Or no, wait, this one's in the Broken Hill Rosaria, this one's in Clairview Sunbrick. It was a trader by way of Caernarvon. I should have just looked at the text down below. Cool. So another C rank here, and then a B rank, which is probably much scarier, unless you're higher level. Cool, though. I like this. I've been told there's pretty much no narrative component to any of these at all. Really, it's just go out and fight a thing, get a reward if you want. So I may end up doing a lot of these off camera. Probably at this rate, given how many side quests they have us do that do have story. What's this thing you do?
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friends' donations?
Oh, no. That's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any?
Sure. Tell me of you.
Business is busy.
On top of my regular duties here at the Whisper, Otto's piled countless other tasks, from transcribing and sorting Stola's reports to penning needful missives. Not that I'm complaining, mind. I enjoy writing. I have ever since I learned my letters from Jarrah back at the old hideaway. I won't claim to have been his best student, though. That honor goes to Shirley.
Still,
I like to think Jarrah would be proud of me, too, were he with us today. How have your past 5 years been going?
words are immortal.
They live on in others, and if the words are your own, so too will you. Do you know who told me that? It was Jarrah, in our last lesson before Titan came. It stayed with me ever since his passing, and inspired me to become what I am today. I imagine we survivors all have a story like that, of someone who remains with us, even though they're gone. Well, thanks for telling me. What is this thing you're doing, though?
Everything we've received, and everything promised.
Completing side quests will earn Clive renown, inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visit Desiree at the Patron's Whisper in the Hideaway's mess to view current renown level and accept any donations available. Oh, that's kind of neat. So, your merry band of outlaws and its dashing deeds of daring do are all the talk among the ladies of the court. We've gathered together several items of worth that you might continue your gallantry from Heartstruck Dowager. Well, thank you.
All yours.
It's a lot of ability points. And then also, our order is one built on pride, but that does not mean we're too proud to give thanks where thanks is due. We may have failed Martha once, but never again, from the Blood Axes. Well, thanks to them as well.
Here you are.
And once I get 30 more renown, there'll be another thing. Interesting. All right, so like rewards for doing side quests, basically, just cumulative ones. That's kind of cool.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Speaking of side quests, though, Goat.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Oh, same old.
Otto's got me reading through the reports coming in from our allies and picking up what problems need dealing with now and what can be saved for later. It was still early days back in the old place, so I could just about handle the job myself. State of the world now, though, I need Dee's help to sift through it all. And that's just the sifting. Actually solving any of these problems is a whole other headache. The curse breakers take the urgent stuff, but we're still stuck waiting for volunteers to handle the rest. So, if you ever find yourself at a loose end, well, you know where to find me. Right on. You know what? I can probably guess about the past 5 years. Tell me what sort of reports you got. None. Really? Well, in Sombrek. And here? Really? Astonishing.
Help?
There is still one out here, though. Do I need to, like, accept these here, Nectar, in order to do things about them, or are you just mostly telling me about their existence here? Yeah. Just informing me. Right on. Okay. And, well, a little more has happened. I'm curious, like, what sort of updates should we expect from you?
Ah, my favorite pupil. How may I help you today?
Tell me of the realm.
Here's the latest information I have.
All right, so some small updates to this, which is cool. And what a neat way to map this out. And
here you are.
Yeah, I guess it's just like if you go further progress through the story, then the game board updates as well to sort of suggest and show what's going on. Bearer callings are happening as folks sweep east out of here, across Sanbreque. And the Dhalmekian army is starting to move for a clash here to try to fight over the Crystalline Dominion. Neat. This really is just a great addition.
The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Thank you. Let's go see about that side quest real quick. Assuming, of course, I can figure out how to get down to it. I don't think I came down here before. Is this where they're doing more of their gardening? Oh, it seems like. Yeah, I didn't see all this down here before. Well, storerooms. Is this a water purifier?
Won't be long now, Martel.
Cool.
Try your apples soon enough.
All right, what you need?
I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
Oh, fine, food delivery.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
Glad to see all that hard work paying off. Okay. Let's deliver fruit. Can I interest you in a little treat?
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here. Courtesy of Martel.
Martel apples, a basket of them, grown and picked by Cormac for sample by hideaway residents.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
It's interesting watching their modular animation system and how it kind of like plays out in this particular game. And when I say the modular animation system, I mean the just sort of standing in place, talking heads, kind of auto-generated stuff where there's not any bespoke performance or acting, and the lip sync looks kind of weak, like where it all just sort of looks really flat and pretty uninteresting, which isn't terribly uncommon for a lot of games to have their sort of like golden path, high quality cinematic scenes, and then they're sort of more small-time fodder for just chatting with lots of other folks around in the world, where that stuff tends to look a little bit less impressive, except for a handful of games like The Witcher 3 or Horizon Forbidden West and a couple others where they managed to make it look pretty consistently good most all the time. But I was kind of having the thought earlier of like, you know, as well localized as all this dialogue is, I feel like for a lot of these side quests, a lot of them could probably have 20 to 30% less words and not lose much meaning or flavor. I feel like they could be like more efficient with how many sentences they are saying for each one of these sorts of things. But that may not 100% be true. It could be that, but it could also be that because the performance animation they've got for this auto-generated stuff is so slight and is giving so little for performance, there's nothing to watch. So maybe them just very flatly saying these lines makes it feel a lot less interesting than if, like I was trying to imagine if these same exchanges were happening in The Witcher 3, where there tends to be a little bit more better executed performance within their modular system. Would I be impatient with it then? And maybe so, but I'm not 100% sure. It would help.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, made Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Like the exchange is good. Like I like these little scenes. It's bringing a little bit more flavor out of the community around here and just fleshing out our hideaway. And I like that a lot. And there's lots of little small polishy things that would also help. Like there's some pretty long pauses between certain parts of the exchange, or they could have really taken half as much time focusing on Clive very quietly putting the thing on the table. Like that's just sort of the results of their system. It's not less, it's like a limit of their system, and what the system will automatically give them is probably, I would guess, it will allow a full action or line or whatever is supposed to happen in the sequence to play out. And they would probably have to do a lot of like manual fiddly stuff to fine-tune the amount of time in a given action takes, or trim things out or make it flow a little bit more smoothly. It feels like all of these could have used, if they'd had the time for it, a lot more individual hand-authored tweaking to kind of like keep the pace going and feeling natural and stuff like that, and maybe having 10% less dialogue or having that compressed a little more would help to make it sing. But like that's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of time and investment, and it's not like it would make the game considerably better, and it's something that I'd wish that they'd had the time for. But I also recognize that what seems like a simple thing for an individual scene, like, hey, make it not take so long when he puts the apples on the table. Hey, make there not be an awkward pause for 5 seconds in between a character getting interrupted and the interrupter speaking, stuff like that. Each individual case seems like it would be easy to fix, but it probably is less easy to fix than it seems, and then there's hundreds and maybe thousands of examples of that to iron out across all these individual conversations. So it's quite a lot of work, but you can feel that lack of polish in it, right? And this game's hardly the only one guilty of it.
The Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind. even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
But I'm glad they have these little scenes in here attached to these side quests. It really does add a lot. For the people who are really hungry for having some more of this added flavor. And the world has clearly been thought through enough, and it feels cohesive and lived in and grounded and natural enough that it feels like these sorts of scenes and these interactions perfectly belong in here. And that's something I am really actually enjoying about this game. Despite all of my, I've gone on some negative rambles for this game so far, and I will again, no doubt, but part of why I do is because the things that aren't bugging me about it, I am loving so much of the rest. So much of this really works for me. I love that this setting feels more grounded and believable and, thought out than most any Final Fantasy setting ever really has. Some are more than others, but there's a lot of Final Fantasy worlds where you're really not supposed to think too hard about it. About how the economy of this world works, about how travel in this world works, about how, where do all these characters get all these clothes? Where do all the, there's lots of little details about that, about how, the realism and the logic of a world that you're not supposed to think that hard about it. It looks really pretty. It's, meant to be evocative and to give a vibe of a world. You're not supposed to dig too far under the surface. And sure, if you dig far enough in this one, you'll find some of those problems too. But this one, a lot about this world makes a great deal of sense. A lot about how the entire world map has taken shape makes a great deal of sense, with these big crystals being kind of the source of every kind of power in this world. And naturally, the biggest kingdoms have gotten built up around these sources. And in the middle is just this constant battlefield and tense political situation of every large world power hungrily eyeing the power that every other kingdom has. And, even without the crystals draining the land of life, you can look at this layout of this world, and it makes just a great deal of intuitive sense about human social behavior in a fantasy setting. Believable, real human social behavior, and how communities and kingdoms and world powers function, but in a fantastical setting. So much of it logically follows. Same with how, their magic system works, with, of course, these crystals being expendable resources means that, if you've got a subset of people who have the gift to be able to cast magic without needing a crystal, it just uses them up instead of the crystal itself. Well, obviously they have good reason not to be casting magic all the time of their own whim, because it's literally killing them to do so, but there's plenty of incentive in place for all the people who are in power, the kinds of humans who would 100% take advantage of their fellow man and use them for their own gain, would absolutely structure their society in a way that disempowers the people who have that gift, so that they can effectively become slaves of these kingdoms and a resource that these kingdoms and the people in power can use for their own objectives and gains and stuff like that. That there's a lot about this that makes a kind of thought through, grounded, human relatable sense. Both the goods and the evils. And I really love that. I really like it when Final Fantasies tell that kind of story and think through their settings this much. Like, I may not be loving a lot of aspects about how they're tackling that, but on paper, I really love this. And the localization of this game is so strong. All this dialogue flows so naturally, and the actors are all giving great performances of that dialogue. The character performances in scenes are naturalistic and also feel just really human and believable and sincere, and not at all pantomimed or unnaturally exaggerated. These are good acting performances, and not a lot of Final Fantasies really have those, I don't think, on the animation side of things. There's a lot to praise in this game. I really want to stress that, because when I am complaining about some of the negative things or the problems that are hindering my ability to wholeheartedly love what they're doing here, that's why I give those points focus, because what is working gangbusters for me. Anyway, let's go ahead and call it a day before more side quests get thrown at me, and I'll see you all tomorrow for whatever's going on at Hawk's Cry Cliff. Until then, bye!